everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie. I'm an online reseller and I've been selling on eBay for over 20 years. In today's video, I'm going to show you how and why I use promoted listings on eBay. This is going to be a very easy to follow along tutorial. So if you've always wondered, why should I promote my listings on eBay? Please stay tuned. So what are promoted listings anyways, and why should you participate in them? So think of eBay as a giant shopping mall. And there is going to be several locations within this mall that are selling things that the customer wants. Let's use the example of, let's say, a Loungefly bag. So a lot of places are going to have these Loungefly backpacks, and you want to attract the customers into your store. So customers going to come in through the entrance, and the store at the very front probably paid the most, okay? We're going to call that like a promoted listing. They paid the most to be there. And they are going to get some customers just because they are right up front. Their listing showed at the top of the search results. There they are. And then you're going to have other customers that are going to continue to meander through the store. And they'll like be, oh, look, I have a kiosk right there. That's my store also. I have a kiosk right here where you can also get my bag that I'm selling. Do you see it right here? Do you see it? And some customers might, walk by that and then continue on through the store. And if I'm paying enough, I might have my promoted listing show up again. Look, there's my location. My same store, again, 3 times in that mall. Okay? Now, even though there might be some other places that sell those Loungefly bags, but because they did not promote their listings, it's going to be a little bit harder for this customer to find those other spots, okay? So I hope that kind of makes sense. Promoted listings get your item in front of customers' eyes, more so than the people that are not paying. So even though those bags are there at these other spots, they are not advertising to the customer. So yeah, their items could still sell, and they will sell. They will sell to other customers. They will sell to people. But the people that are going the path of the least resistance, those items are going to show up in the search more often. So that's what a promoted listing does. It puts your listing in that search results for that buyer more often. So sometimes when you're searching, you probably have noticed that, hey, why does it say that there's 5 of this item, but I can see with my own eyes that there's like 7 listings here? Well, in reality, that one listing, that promoted listing, has been duplicated a few times in your search results to put it in front of your eyes several times. Amazon does this too, you'll notice, where it'll say promoted listing on the top, because sometimes a buyer needs to see that item several times before they will commit to purchasing it. Okay? So that's what promoted listings are. Let me show you how to set them up. So I'm going to show you how I set up my promoted listings. To set up a promoted listing, you are going to have to use your computer, show off your very good computer skills.
I'll be impressed with your excellent computer skills.
This is not something that you're going to be able to do on your phone. Unfortunately, it is not part of the eBay app. Well, I guess you could use your browser on your phone if you truly had to. It is so much easier to go ahead and do this on your computer. So from your eBay homepage, you're going to hover above My eBay and then go down to Selling. Once that page loads, that's your seller hub. So then you're going to go over Advertising and then click Campaigns. Okay, once that page loads, you're going to click Create New Campaign. Then you're going to be brought to the campaign setup page. You have 3 options. You can promote your listings, promote your store, or promote offsite. So the one I always choose is promote your listings. So we're going to click on that. Now it's going to give you 2 different options, general and priority. Okay, I personally do not look at any of these probably fake numbers, because notice the keyword in these. It says visibility. It doesn't say sales. I want sales. I want to pay for sales only, not visibility. Just because we put a pretty picture in front of people doesn't mean they're going to buy it, okay? So I am going to click on General, which is Pay Per Sale. Pay only a fee when an item sells. Priority is when you pay per click. Pay only for clicks on your ads. So that's like having an amusement park and you're going to let everybody in for free and then we're just going to see what happens. They're not going to be paying customers. We're just letting everybody in for free all willy-nilly. Okay? That's what priority is. You opened it up on the highway and just letting everybody in. General is you're paying for the sale. So the people that are buying your things, and then you're going to give a little bit of the fee to eBay for bringing those people into your listing. So we're going to click on General. And then we are going to click on Add Listings. Okay, there's several different choices that you're going to have here. You can click category, like for example, if you only want to have things from your video game category or your sporting goods category on sale, you can click those if you would like. Personally, I just let all the categories go on promotion. And then for price range, you can click all or give it a price range. Personally, I like to only promote my listings where I'm selling the item for $25 and up. Because to me, there's no point of paying an extra fee on something I'm only asking maybe $10 for. I really don't want to pay an extra 2.5% or 3% on that sale, but I'm willing to pay that on, let's say, a $100 sale or a $25 sale. So you can change this price range to anything you want. You can just go ahead and type in $25. Now mine doesn't say anything right here because I already have all of those listings on promo right now, but let me go ahead and just type $10. And then it's going to populate everything that I have for $10 and up. Okay? And then you can even cap it. Let's say you don't want to promote items that are over $300 or something like that. So you can type in and it'll reduce this down if that's applicable. Okay? And you can also click only they're recommended. I personally don't do that. Then if you'd like, you can narrow it down by brand or condition. Let's say you only want to have things that are used condition that are going to be on promo or things that are in new condition that are going to be on your promo. That is completely up to you. Okay, so when you're done, you're happy with these selections, you're now going to click at the bottom where it says Create New Rule. Okay, now we're going to see that it's added our listings. We have 920 listings that qualify. We're going to scroll down, and you can either select dynamic ad rate or fixed ad rate. I've personally done both. I don't think it particularly matters. Now, let's just go over both of them. On dynamic ad rate, it says ad rates are automatically updated to the daily suggestion. And then fixed rate is manually manage your ad rates. They'll remain the same until you edit them. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's click on it. Dynamic ad rate. On dynamic ad rate, you could set an ad rate cap, and there's also an ad rate modifier, an ad rate cap. An ad rate cap is the maximum percentage of an item's total sale amount that is charged when your promoted item sells. Selling a higher cap gives a dynamic ad rate more flexibility to match the daily suggested ad rate. This can help increase the visibility of your listing and improve performance. If you prefer to manually adjust your ad rates, select a fixed ad rate strategy instead. So what does that mean in layman's terms? So the way that I interpret that is if I am promoting my listings at, say, 2.5%, but Figment over here is promoting his listings at 5%, his listings are going to show higher and more often in the search. Because I'm the little guy and he's the big guy. Okay? But let's say I might be willing to maybe one day list my things at 5% like Figment. So on a dynamic ad rate, if Figgy over here has a 5% and I have a 2.5%, my promotion rate is going to rise to meet his or go above his. So like to go above his, I'd have to set my dynamic ad rate at 8% or anything above 5%. And it would exceed his. So that's what a dynamic ad rate. It basically goes off of what other people are paying on that day. So maybe kind of think of it as like hotel rates. So you know when you book a hotel, The rates kind of fluctuate depending on how many rooms are booked or what's going on that week. So those rates are dependent on how many people are out there wanting those hotels at those rates and how many rooms are already booked already. So same kind of idea with the dynamic ad rate. Okay, then you can also set an ad rate modifier, and that's to set a percentage to increase your dynamic ad rates above the daily suggestion. So if the daily suggestion that day from the algorithm is like 5%, but you're willing to pay 8% for whatever reason, you can enter that in there. That's personally something I've never done. What I typically do is just fixed ad rate. I decide what I want to pay for that month and I enter it there. So the minimum is 2%. So we want to go a little bit above that because if everybody in the party is paying 2%, you want to stick out. So I normally do mine at 2.2 to 2.5%. You can pick what would you like to pay. You might be willing to pay 5% per sale. So you go ahead and add that into there. So I'm just going to use 2.5% for my example. And yeah, eBay's going to tell you it's too low because you know what? eBay wants more money. You do what you want to do, and I personally would just recommend starting out with the lower amounts, and you can always increase it later if you would like. Again, remember, these percentages are coming out of your sales totals, and that includes your shipping and everything. So don't be thinking, oh, I'll maybe put 25% in here, and then now your $100 sale has not only that eBay fee, but there's also an additional 25%, and now you're only making $15 on that sale. These things are kind of like a slippery slope. You really need to think all the way through. So you pick what percentage you would like to do on that. I'm doing 2.5 on this example. Okay, so now you can name your campaign. You can just leave it to what it has here unless you'd like to make it something fancy with pizzazz and sparkle. So the start date can be today or any time in the future that you'd like. Then your end date can either be continuous, meaning it's just going to roll and roll and roll, or you can have it end on whatever day you'd like. So say you want to end it at the end of the month or around a holiday. You can change that however you'd like. So I'm just going to leave it at continuous, and then you would just click launch. Okay, now I'm going to show you why I promote my listings and how much I've paid in the past. So let's take a look at my campaign that I currently have running so you can see how this is working out for me. So you can either see it from this page right here, or if you want to have a nicer, bolder look, you can click on dashboard. So as you can see, it's all the same information that we just saw a few moments ago, but in nice, big, bold blocks. A little bit easier to read. And you could scroll down and take a look at your ads impacts and your ads performance if that matters to you. To me, I'm really only interested in my ad fees, quantity sold, and my sales. And that's really it. Everything else is just whatever to me. So from that campaign dashboard, we can see this campaign that I currently have running. It's active, as you can see. I have 1,355 listings that it is currently promoting. It will give you further information by how many impressions, over 2 million, 4,000 clicks. Now here's what really honestly matters. I've sold 37 items under this promo, and that has garnered me $2,251 in sales, and my ad fees, only $53.99. So to me, I feel like it's worth it to pay an extra $54 for $2,200 in sales. Like, to me, that's a no-brainer. I've put up a sign. I said, hey, here I am. And I only paid $53 for that sign, and I got, in exchange, $2,200 in sales. To me, that's a no-brainer. Anyways, so I hope this video helped you. If it did, please give me a great big thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if there's some other tutorial you'd like to see. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!